my name is Wasun Gezu. I am grade 7 biology teacher. I'm happy to meet you. Stay at home for me. So today we start new topics, which is talking about plants. We start our lesson by defining the word which is plants. Dear student, I will give you a chance to define the plant. What does mean plants? What does mean plants? If you try, I will give you chance. Okay, let us define together what does mean plants. Plants are a multicellular organism which prepares their own food by the process which is called photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is simply the process by which green plants prepare their own food. Their food is called glucose. They prepare their food from carbon dioxide and the water as the presence of sunlight. Dear students, it's clear? Are you with me? Okay, let us continue by looking some general characteristic of plants. Plants are multicellular organisms. This means their cell is made up of many cells. Plants are eukaryotic organisms. This means their cell is bounded by the nuclear membrane. They have true nucleus. And also, plants reproduce both sexually and asexually. Okay, what does mean reproduction? Who can try? Reproduction is the process by which living organisms give their offspring. Offspring means a new plant or young animal. There are two types of reproduction, which is called sexual reproduction and asexual reproduction. Plants reproduce both sexually and asexually. The another characteristic of plant is plants are non-volatile. Plants are non-volatile. This means they cannot move from place to place by their own. I think you are with me. Okay, the another one is plants have the cell wall which is called cellulose. This means their cell wall is made up of cellulose. They store their excess food in the form of a starch. Plants are different from animals by this one. And now we see the diversity of plants. Plants show great diversities in their size, in their type, and also in their distribution. Let us see one by one. Plants differ by their size from the smallest mosses, which is grow up to 7 centimeters, to the big tree, which is grow up to 18 meters. You see the difference is visible. Mosses are a type of plant which are grow up to only 7 centimeters, and the big trees are a type of plant which are grow up to 18 meters. The another one is plants are also differ by their type. Some plants bring a flower and some are not bring a flower. And also some plants are vascular plants and some of them are non-vascular plants. The another one is plants are different by their distribution. Some plants live in different climate from the wet to dry place. For example, if you take a plant like cactus and a give, they are grow in dry place. By the way, a give is called red in Amharic, and cactus is a local plant which is called kolkal in Amharic. Then The another one is plants are different, plants are live in different altitude from the highland to lowland. And also they live in different soil type, sand, silt, loam, and clay. The another difference is plants are different by their vascular bundle. Some plants have a vascular bundle or transporting tissue. Transporting tissue are a type of tissue which is used for transporting water and the mineral from the soil, and also the prepared food from the upper part of a plant to the lower part of a plant. There are two vascular bundles. The first one is called xylem. Xylem is a type of vascular bundle which is absorbing water and the mineral from the soil and pass it to the upper part of the plant. And the another one is phloem. Phloem is a type of vascular bundle which is transporting the prepared food in the leaf to the other part of the plant. You see, these two vessels are doing together on the transportation of materials. Because of this, plants are divided into two as vascular plant and non-vascular plant. For example, if you take the plant like mosses and liverwort, they are non-vascular plant. This means they do not have any transporting tissue by osmosis or divisions of water. Water is needed for reproduction, but these plants have no transporting tissue, or what we call it vascular bundles. The another one is they are small in size when we compare from the remaining plants. For example, as we say at the beginning of our class, mosses grow only up to 7 centimeters. It is showing they are small in size. Then the another difference is they are seasonal. They are seasonal. For example, mosses grow on the moist place, shady, dampy, and seasonal season. They disappeared after time. The another party of plant is vascular plant. Vascular plants are big in size. They have well compound vascular tissue like xylem and the phloem. For example, if you take eucalyptus, what we call it in Amharic, it is a type of vascular plant. And also, if you take rose plant, what we call it ጽጌረዳ አበባ in Amharic, is also a type of vascular plant. You see, now we classify plants into two as vascular plant and the non-vascular plant based on their vascular tissue or bundle. We start from the flowering plant. Flowering plants are a plant those have a flower as their sexual reproductive organ. This means they reproduce sexually by using their flower. Flower is a reproductive organ of flowering plants. Now, we see some example of flowering plants. You know, different plants lives in our surrounding like wheat, barley, potato, tomato, eucalyptus, rose plants. They bearing flower. Because of this, they are called flowering plants. Then, the another characteristic of flowering plant is they bearing flower. And also they reproduce. Their seed includes the container which is called fruit. Fruit is a matured ovary. When the ovary is matured, it is converted into fruit. The seed of flowering plant is enclosed in the fruit. Enclosed in the fruit. Because of this, the another name of flowering plant is called angiosperm. Angiosperm is derived from two Greek words. Angio means protected, and sperma means seed. Because of this, angiosperm plants are the plant those have protected seed, or the plant which produce their seed in the container which is called fruits. Another characteristic of flowering plant is they have unique fertilization system. They have a unique fertilization system. They reproduce rapidly because of the presence of this unique fertilization system. Then, another and the last characteristic of flowering plant is they use different pollination agent addition to the wind. They use different pollination agent addition to the wind. Dear student, be with me and follow me. I think this topic is very interesting topic. You have to give me attention and follow me. Okay, another one is we see the second class of plant which is called non-flowering plant. Non-flowering plants are a plant those have no flower as reproductive organ. Instead of flower, these plants use a cone. Instead of flower, non-flowering plants use cone. Cone is a sexual reproductive organ of non-flowering plant. Cone is defined as a union of male and female gamete. A male gamete is called pollen and a female gamete is called ovule. The union of male gamete, pollen, and a female gamete, ovule, is called cone. Cone is a reproductive sexual organ of non-flowering plant, what we call gymnosperm. Let us see some example of gymnosperms. Gymnosperms are a plant like mosses, furnace, liverwort, and pine. What does mean esteem? Let us see together a definition of esteem. Esteem is the main body or party of a plant which is supporting the leaf, the flower, the fruit, and the whole party of the plant above the ground. And now we see some function of the stem to the plant. The first one, stem is supporting the whole party of a plant above the ground, including leaf, flower, branches, and the fruits. The second one is stem is serve as transportation of food from the upper party of a plant leaf to the lower party of a plant. So it is used for transporting materials. This means for transportation. And the third one, stem is used for storing excess food. For example, you know the local plant which is called sugarcane. Sugarcane is a edible plant. We eat sugarcane, it is a stem. Why not we eat it is leaf? The stem of sugarcane is edible because a plant like sugarcane are storing their food in their stem. The reason why we eat the stem of sugarcane is this one. Then, now we see internal features of a stem. Okay, all parties of plants has the same internal features. For example, a stem and the root have the same internal features. Let us see one by one. The main internal features of the stem is epidermis. Epidermis is the outer coverage of a stem used for protecting the stem from different damage and injuries. Okay, a stem consisting the below main parts. The first one is epidermis. Epidermis is the outer coverage of a stem of plant. It is used for protecting the plant tissue from different damage and injuries. The second one is the layer which is next to the epidermis is called context. Context is a second layer of internal features of stem. The third one is pith. Pith is a circular central part of a stem cell. And the last one is vascular bundles. Vascular bundles are a bundle which is used for transporting materials within a plant. Now we see about the second part of a flowering plant, which is called leaf. Dear students, as you know the structure and the shape of leaf of a plant. Leaf is a flat and broad part of a plant which is found above the ground on the branch. Then the main function of the stem is a site of photosynthesis. It is a place where photosynthesis takes in place. Now we see the second part of a plant which is called leaf. Leaf is a flat and a broad part of a plant which is found above the ground on the branches of a plant. The main function of the leaf is a site of photosynthesis. This means the place where photosynthesis takes in. The second one is for gas exchange. As you know, plant is taking in carbon dioxide and giving out oxygen. The process by which organisms giving in the gas is called inhalation, and the process by which they giving out a gas is called exhalation. So plant is doing this process by their leaf. Leaf is a site of gas exchange. The another one is leaf is a storing excess food, used for storing excess food. If you remember, we eat cabbage, it is leaf. We eat cabbage, it's leaf. Why we did not eat it is root? I will give you time to think about this question. Plants like cabbage are edible plants. We eat their leaves because they store their excess food in their leaves. This one is the reason why we eat the leaf of cabbage. The another one, or the another function of the leaf is for transpiration. Transpiration is the process by which plants controlling the movement of water out of their leaf. Now we see the external feature of a leaf of plants. We see the external structure of leaves. Leaf has four main external structures. The first one is called blade. Blade is a flat and broad part of a leaf. And the second one is veins. Veins is a tree-like structure which is found on the surface of the leaf. The third one is midribs. Midribs is a big midline veins. It is a big midline veins. The fourth one is a stalk. A stalk is a part of a leaf which is fixing a leaf with the stem. Now, the second one is we see the internal structure of leaf. Okay, internal structures of leaf. Leaf has four main internal structures like epidermis, the outer coverage of the leaf of plant, and the second one is called stoma or stomata. A stomata is the small hole found on the surface of the leaf, which is most of time responsible for the transpiration and the gas exchange. The third one is guard cell. Guard cell is a bean-shaped structure which is controlling the opening and the closing of a stomata. And the last one is called mesophyll tissue. Mesophyll tissue is a plant tissue which is found in the leaf used for photosynthesis because it is consisting high amount of chloroplast or what we call a pigment. Dear students, the time is now yours. I will give you some activity to do by your own. The first one is, what is the main characteristic of plants? Write the characteristic of plants. Okay, the first question is command you to write the characteristic of plants. The second one is list general characteristic of plants. The third one is write some example of flowering plants. Let us see the answers of the given activities together. The first question is, defining the word what does mean plant. Plants are a multicellular organism which are prepared their own food by photosynthesis. This one is the answer of the given question. Dear student, I hope you have got the answers. The answer of first question is plants are a multicellular organism which is prepared their own food by the process which is called photosynthesis. And the second question is, list the general characteristic of flowering plants. Flowering plants have some general characteristic, like they have flower as sexual reproductive structure, they bearing their seed in the fruit, and also they have a unique fertilization system, etc. The third one is, list some example of flowering plants. I think you have got the answers because the question is very easy. You know some plants locally, potato, wheat, barley, maize, they are flowering plants. Now we are starting new subtopics, which is talking about root and function of root. Root is the underground part of a plant which is grow downward to the soil. It is consisting some parts like main root, lateral root, root hair, root tip, and root cap. When we see one by one, we start from the first one, which is primary root or main root. Primary root is a type of root which is grow at the base of stem. And the second one is lateral root. Lateral root is a type of root which is branched from the main root. And the third one is root hair. Root hair is a fine part of a root which is involved in observation of water and the mineral from the soil. And the fourth one is root tip. Root tip is a growing region of a root which is grow downward to the soil. It is known as a growing region of the root. Root is a part of plant which is found underground or below the ground. It is consisting the below parts of the underground parts of a plant, which is main root, lateral root, root tip, root hair, and root cap. When we see one by one, from starting the first one, which is main root. Main root is a root party which is grow at the base of a stem. And the second one is lateral root. Lateral root is a secondary root which is branched from the main root. And the third one is root hair. Root hair is a fine part of a root which is involving in observation of water and minerals from the soil. The fourth one is root tip. Root tip is the part of a root which is grow downward to the soil. It is known as a grown region of a root. And the last one is the outer coverage of a root tip, which is called root cap. Root cap is protecting the growing region of the root, which is called root tip. It is all about the parts of a root. Then we see about the systems in plants. There are two systems in plants. Now we see about the systems in plants. There are two systems in plants. The first one is called shoot system, and the second one is a root system. Okay, this one is flower. This one is leaf. And this one is a stem. So, shoot system of a plant is consisting these three parts of a plant. Together they are known as shoot system. Then the below underground part of the plant is called shoot system. Shoot system is the underground part of a plant which is consisting main root. This one is a main root. And these side branched roots are known as lateral roots. And a very fine, teeny structure is called root hair. And this tip of the root is known as root tip. And the outer cover of the root tip is called root cap. Dear students, we have finished our today lessons. I am staying here for you. Please stay at home for us. Have a nice time. See you. Bye-bye.